Sorry I'm not there today. I got a conference I had to go to, forgot all about it. So, what I want to do with this video is show you how to take the next step in industrial engineering. What we talked about yesterday was something like this, where you had the wage was pretty much the same, and the driving distance was fairly the same, and then, kind of fun job, not fun job, whatever. And the whole idea of it was, how do you compare money to how much you like your job? And so we talked about that for a good 20 minutes. And since the class is so small, we were able to do that individually. So we kind of filled this in, and what we found inevitably was job one was the correct job for me. But then we went down to here, and all I really did on this one is change how much job three is, how much I'm making per hour. Now, we also all came to the conclusion that pretty much no matter what job three is, we would take that job over job one. Even though, again, if we filled out this chart, turned everything into zeros, ones, and something in between, called the common unit score, job one here would still win out, even though I think we would all take this job. So what I left you with was, how do we take into account how badly we want something? Your first assignment is this: calculating weights. You want to weight how much you really want whatever this thing is. So how much do you want that $60 an hour? Again, it can be an awful job, and it can be far away. I think if it was 70 miles away, but you still made $60 an hour, I don't think anyone would think twice about it. 70 miles away, no problem. After 2 months, I can afford to get an apartment near the job. So, here's what you got to do. First, rank what you believe is the most important thing in whatever categories you're talking about. Now, here we're talking about the things that are contained in a movie that will help you enjoy a movie for better or for worse. So we have acting, cinematography, directing, sound, special effects, and writing. Now, I'm just going to fill this out for me. You can fill it out for you. It doesn't really matter. You're all going to end up at the end with the same idea. So, let's see. Acting, I'm going to say, is probably the second most important thing, right after writing. Directing for me is probably number 3. After that, I don't really care that much. Probably special effects. I got crappy special effects. It kind of takes me out of the movie, so I need that. Sound, again, if it sounds like it was, I don't know, recorded on like a reel-to-reel, it's going to sound a lot different than, was a nice thing. Cinematography, I'm not even 100% sure what that is. I don't really care about it that much. So once you have your rankings, again, whatever they are, go down to number 2. Copy them in there. And now, you're going to have some more information, because writing is a lot more important to me than acting, which is slightly more important to me than directing, which is way more important than special effects. So I got to be able to give points to each one of these things. And what you're going to do is do something familiar. You're going to kind of grade it like you would on any quiz or test in school. So grade it on a 100-point system. Your number 1, generally, is going to have a high score. And just go down from there. Now, again, it doesn't have to be 100. You can have a couple of different 80s. You can have a couple of 70s. You can be all 60s if they're all pretty much the same to you. It doesn't really matter. Again, this is where the weight comes in. How much do you care about this thing? And like I said, writing, far and away to me, best thing in a movie. Acting, next. Third, I said directing, kind of right behind acting to me. And after that, I don't really care that much. Like special effects, it's all right. Sound and cinematography, I don't care about it at all. I'm going to give that a 0. So again, this is on a 100-point scale. And honestly, it doesn't really matter what points you use. Just let's try to keep it all the same so all of us use the 100-point scale. Once you're done with that, put them in the next box. And now you're going to figure out the weight. Now what the weight is, and some of you more math-inclined people might know this, the weight is simply a percentage. And a percentage is a part over a whole. So what I'm going to do is add up all of these. That would be my whole. I mean my denominator. And on the top, the numerator, I'm just going to put that. So if I add up the totals here, 80, 0, 70, 10, 40, and 100, what is that, 300? So that's my total. So the weight of each one of these individual things is this over 300. So I'm going to have 80 over 300. Well, that's 0.26 repeating. 0 over 300. That's 0. 70 over 300. That's 0.23333 repeating. 10 over 300. 0.03 repeating. 40 over 300, 0.13 repeating, and finally 100 over 300, 0.3 repeating. So the whole idea here is to find this weight. So now that you've seen it, please do 4, 5, and 6. Again, you're going to rank them. Once they are ranked, you're going to give them points. And the points are going to tell you how much it's weighted. Again, the weight is simply this number over the total number of points. Once you get to the points part of the rank, doesn't really matter that much. So again, do 4, 5, and 6, and then I'll show you where we're going from there.